Twisted Metal has only been out for about 4 days, and Forbes is reporting that it's already just set a Rotten Tomatoes audience score record, which is not something that I was expecting to see from a Twisted Metal show. And we're going to get into that now in a second. But before we do that, if I could quickly ask you to give me a like and a subscribe, it really goes a long way and it helps me out a lot. So over here on Forbes,
prepare for battle in 10, 9.
As the title says, reported by Paul Tassi, Twisted Metal just set an audience score record. Down here below the picture of Sweet Tooth. There are many high-profile game adaptations these days, from Last of Us to Fallout, Arcane to Cyberpunk, but you might have overlooked one show in particular, Twisted Metal, which I agree with. It's definitely gone under the radar, and I still think it is. If you even know that the show existed, you could find it on Peacock, and it just entered its second season. The adaptation of the famed car combat games stars Captain America, Anthony Mackie, Brooklyn 99's Stephanie Beatrice, and a combination of wrestler Samoa Joe and Will Arnett's voice to make Sweet Tooth. This seemed like a recipe to be awful. Instead, it's good. It's very good. In fact, it's so good that it just became tied for the all-time audience score record among live-action video game adaptations. And really, it might be number one if you take into consideration it had to get these scores across 2 seasons. The list, as you can see, Twisted Metal is tied with season 1 of Fallout, which is still my favorite adaptation, both with a 93% score. Now this part here, we have Last of Us at number 3, but with a 62% audience score, and that is definitely 100% because of how poorly received season 2 was. But I'm still surprised at how low that is considering the strength of the first season, but people hated season 2 a lot. The fact that it's all the way down to a 62% definitely makes me think that people were just spamming it just because, making bot reviews or any way to give it a low score. Then we got Halo season 2 with a 61 audience score. Kind of deserves it more. To me, it makes it pretty obvious that The Last of Us Season 2 score is intentionally people giving it crappy reviews. Then we got Witcher Season 3, 54% audience score, which would be a lot. Half of the show in general just kind of sucked. Season 1 was great. Parts of Season 2 was good. Season 3, really not all that good. And then we got Like a Dragon Yakuza with a 30% audience score. That's pretty damn low. Resident Evil Season 1 is so bad I haven't even watched it. I should just be watching every adaptation, and I watched some of it, but it was so cringe immediately. And as you can see, it's got a 26% score. There are more adaptations coming. News about upcoming God of War, Mass Effect, and Assassin's Creed heading to different services. But so far, that's the list so far. No, that's according to this guy's article. There's a way bigger list that this guy's not even talking about. Things have gotten better in animation, even with these projects attracting more praise. Even in that list, it's only Cyberpunk Edgerunners that beats out Twisted Metal and Fallout with a 95% audience score. But in the anime section, Cyberpunk Edgerunners is number 1, which I would agree with. I am surprised it's above Arcane. But then we got Arcane and Castlevania are beneath that. If we're doing movies, then we got all 3 Sonics at 93 or above, so that's gone well. High earner Minecraft is at 85%. But as you can see from the TV shows, fans are notoriously hard to please. The Last of Us may have dozens of Emmy noms, but the fans there have really laid into the show, especially in season 2. The Witcher, mainly an adaptation of the books more than the games, but was heavily influenced, has seen a rapid decline in quality. Fallout is a standout series, an adaptation of the world, not a specific game, with a dead-on vibe and stellar cast with Ella Purnell and Walton Goggins, or as I like to call him, the Gogmeister. Twisted Metal is great. It is. I played all these games growing up, and this is exactly the sort of violence and comedy mix a series like this should be. A highlight is the brilliant combination of performance of Samoa Joe and Will Arnett as Sweet Tooth, which I would agree with wholeheartedly, especially for Samoa Joe. Will Arnett, we already expect him to be funny on some level. How Samoa is able to physically play the character is really awesome. A completely creative idea. I'm not sure about that. This is again Paul Tassi saying that the idea of someone voicing a character and someone else acting it out, that's not a new idea. Also, while I don't love him that much in anything else, Anthony Mackie is fantastic here, and this, more than anything else, feels like a role he was born to play. It still just kind of feels like Anthony Mackie, not that I don't mind, I like him. I like him fine, but he's pretty much just playing a saucier version of his character on Captain America. If you're a fan of the games, you'll not regret checking it out. That's the end of the article. But this is the part that confuses me because I'm over here on the Twisted Metal page and I don't go on Rotten Tomatoes that much. I'm confused about the tomato meter and the popcorn meter because I thought the popcorn meter was what the audience score is. August 3rd, as this article came out 2 days ago, it's saying the popcorn meter is 76%, but the tomato meter is the one that's just by professional reviewers, and that's 94%. Did the ratings on this show already drop almost 20 points in a couple days? Did the person who wrote this article mean to say review score and not audience score? Because I'm confused. I truly am confused. So I went to look at some of the other shows to see if what they said was the current, and see again when I go over to the actual website for page for Fallout, it has a 93 for average tomato and popcorn. So it's a 93 from both, but it's saying that it was tied with 93, but now it's already not. So in 2 days, somehow in 2 days, the Twisted Metal Season 2 has somehow gone from 93% to 76%. And over here looking at, if I actually go over to the review score for the all audience, or as much as they're going to show me, the past couple of days there's been a lot of 0 or 1 point reviews. Are people suddenly spamming it? I don't get how it could have went from 93% to 76% in like 2 days. Plus you can't actually see how many, plus you can't read all of the 50 plus reviews apparently are from the audience. But on the critic side, there's only 16 reviews. All of them are generally favorable. There's only one person who gave it a green squishy thing. But Luke Y. Thompson, who, unless he's seen the entire season already, his criticism is that season 2 focuses on all the action and gore and sex like it does, but the story drags a lot, and this entire drop could have been more satisfying at a tighter 8 episodes. But the season isn't done yet. It's supposed to be 12 episodes. Reviewing it based on the fact that it's going to be 12 and not 8, or did he actually just see the entire season all at once? Perhaps he did because he's a professional reviewer and they get to watch the whole thing up front. I love that Twisted Metal is better than it was expected, and it's doing better than expected. I wasn't expecting much from it myself, and I never was a big player of the games, but I loved that it turned out to be really good. But how did it go from 93% to 76% in 2 days? I'm confused about that. But on the review end of the tomato meter, it's at 94%, so that's a great score for the review end. But how it managed to get that low of a popcorn meter since the day this article was written on August 1st, and today is August 3rd, I do not know. So something's going on there. So yeah, I cannot speak on to whatsoever as to why that happened, because the fact that it was at a 93 is great, but how did it lose how did it lose all those points in so many days? It must have been review bombed or something. Why or who or how that happened? People just like want to hate just to hate for some reason. Like if I wasn't a fan of the show, I wouldn't even review it. I don't generally review things if I don't like it, unless it's like really bad. But usually I wouldn't just review something because I hate it. I review because I really liked it. And even then, I do review only if I really like it. Kind of confusing, but cooler all the less. But at the same time, to me personally, a 76 audience score actually makes more sense. 2 days ago, I guess there were less than 50 plus reviews. Somehow it changed the score that much already. Either way, it's just good news to hear that this show is doing well and getting reviewed and getting good reviews. It only came out July 31st, so already some pretty good momentum going for it. Next episode comes out next week, so stay tuned. Next episode comes out in a couple days. So as always, stay tuned and up to date for any adaptation news about Twisted Metal or any other movie or show. So to get all that, you'd first have to subscribe, and also liking and sharing would be amazing as well. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to do all those things I just said, but above all else, don't forget to keep gaming.